From the beginning, the ancient council saw Earth as an unruly, chaotic anomaly, a backwater planet brimming with irrational and emotionally volatile beings. They believed humanity's history of war, revolution, and internal discord was evidence enough that humans were destined for insignificance. In their eyes, the future belonged to the orderly, to those who adhered to strict logic, who knew the value of control and discipline. Humans, with their unpredictable nature, were an aberration. To the Council, species like the Clerians and the Rhetorians, civilizations that had peacefully evolved for millions of years, were the pinnacles of galactic life. Their societies were founded on harmony, with a deep understanding of the universe's natural order. They had advanced through a slow, methodical process, unlocking the secrets of technology and space travel only after centuries of careful deliberation. The humans, however, had stumbled into the stars like reckless children, driven by a hunger for exploration and expansion that defied reason. Yet what the Council failed to see was that within this perceived recklessness lay humanity's true strength. Earth's rapid technological advancement wasn't the product of chaos, it was the result of necessity. Faced with dwindling resources, environmental collapse, and internal strife, humanity had been forced to innovate or perish. Their survival hinged on adapting, often in real time, to an ever-changing world. They had mastered the art of finding opportunity in the midst of disaster. Their ships might not have been as elegant or refined as those of the other species, but they were durable, functional, and, most importantly, fast. Humanity's first ventures into deep space were not driven by a desire for conquest or domination, but by the sheer need to survive and thrive. And as they ventured further into the galaxy, they did so with a fierce determination that no other species had ever seen. But even as they spread through the stars, establishing colonies and pushing the boundaries of known space, humanity remained largely ignored by the ancient council. To the other species, they were a sideshow, a brief burst of activity that would soon fade into obscurity. After all, humanity had no prophecy, no ancient lineage, no long history of peace to speak of. They were not worthy of the council's attention, yet the humans persevered, and slowly but surely, they began to make their presence known. The ancient council had ruled the galaxy for millennia, their authority derived from a prophecy written long before the stars had settled into their orbits. According to this ancient text, only those species who embraced perfect order, logic, and balance could ascend to greatness. It was a prophecy that had guided the council's decisions for generations, shaping their view of the universe and the species within it. Humanity, with its chaotic nature, was deemed unworthy from the start. The prophecy had never mentioned Earth, nor had it made any predictions about such a wild, unruly species. To the council, the humans were a statistical anomaly, a race destined to collapse under the weight of their own chaos before they could ever pose a threat. The council's reliance on the prophecy blinded them to humanity's true potential. They could not see that the very traits they dismissed as weaknesses, humanity's emotional volatility, their unpredictability, their defiance of order, were in fact the keys to their survival. The humans were not bound by ancient doctrines or rigid structures. They thrived in uncertainty, pushing beyond their limits precisely because they had no choice. But the prophecy had a fatal flaw. It could not account for the sheer willpower and determination of a species like humanity. For while the council's members relied on tradition and stability, humanity embraced chaos as a force of creation. It was through chaos that humans had learned to innovate, to survive, and to thrive. And soon the galaxy would learn just how wrong the prophecy had been. While the galaxy's most advanced civilizations relied on tradition, order, and slow progression, humanity thrived on its ability to adapt and improvise. Earth's scientists, engineers, and leaders didn't have the luxury of waiting for centuries of peaceful advancement. They were forced to innovate on the fly, often with limited resources and time. Where others saw chaos, humans saw opportunity. Their military strategies were unconventional, their technology often experimental, and their leaders prone to making bold, sometimes reckless decisions. Yet it was precisely this unpredictability that made humanity so dangerous. They couldn't be easily categorized or anticipated. One moment, they might seem on the verge of collapse, and the next they would rise stronger and more determined than ever. As the Council's species watched humanity expand through the stars, they still dismissed them as impulsive and aggressive. But some began to take notice. A few voices within the Council raised concerns. What if the prophecy was wrong? What if humanity's chaos wasn't a weakness, but a strength? But those voices were drowned out by centuries of tradition. The Council remained convinced that humanity would burn out before they could ever challenge the established order. It wasn't long before the galaxy faced a new threat, a species from the dark reaches of the cosmos known as the Xylar. They were an ancient race, even older than the Council itself, and they had returned to reclaim what they believed was rightfully theirs. The Xylar were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Their ships were massive, their weapons advanced beyond comprehension, and their tactics brutal. The ancient council, confident in their prophecy, believed their traditional methods of warfare would be enough to stop the invaders. But the Xylar were relentless. In the council's rigid, predictable strategies were no match for their ruthless efficiency. One by one, the council's fleets were decimated, their planets reduced to ashes. The Xylar moved through the galaxy like a plague, consuming everything in their path. Desperate, the council turned to humanity. It was a last resort, a desperate plea for help from a species they had long ignored. To the council, it was unthinkable that humans, those chaotic, unpredictable beings, might be the key to saving the galaxy. But with the Xylar bearing down on them, they had no choice. When the council's plea for help reached Earth, humanity didn't respond with fear or hesitation. Instead, they saw it as an opportunity to prove themselves, to show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. For the first time, humanity had the chance to save not just themselves, but the entire galaxy. Humanity's fleets were vastly outnumbered and outgunned, but what they lacked in numbers, they made up for in ingenuity. Earth's commanders devised strategies that defied logic, using tactics that no other species would have dared to attempt. They fought with a reckless bravery that left even their enemies in awe. In one particularly daring maneuver, a human fleet lured a massive Xylar mothership into an asteroid field. The Xylar, confident in their superiority, pursued without hesitation. But the humans had anticipated this, and as the Xylar ship entered the asteroid field, Earth's forces detonated a series of charges, sending thousands of asteroids hurtling toward the enemy vessel. The Xylar were caught off guard, and for the first time they were forced to retreat.